Right now, somewhere in your home, an animal is watching you. It knows your footsteps, it knows your smell, it knows the exact sound your hand makes when it reaches for the food bag. You call this animal your pet. You feed it, you name it, you decide where it sleeps, and when it goes to the vet. But here's a question almost nobody stops to ask. Does it know that? Does your dog know it's a dog living in a human's house? Does your cat understand that you own it? We say the word pet 1,000 times without thinking, but pet is a human idea. It's a word we invented for a relationship we decided we were in, and the animal lying next to you right now may have no clue it's playing that role at all. What it thinks is happening instead is far stranger, and once you understand it, you may never look at your pet the same way again. Let's start with what pet actually means, because the word is doing more work than you realize. To truly know you are a pet, an animal would need 3 things. It would need to know what it is. It would need to know what you are. And it would need to understand the relationship between you, that one of you owns the other, feeds the other, controls the other's whole life. That's not a simple feeling, that's a concept. And concepts are exactly the thing we're not sure animals carry around in their heads. So scientists did the next best thing. They stopped asking what animals think about the word pet and started asking a simpler question. What do these animals think you are? Start with dogs, because dogs are the easy case. Here's something dogs do that almost no other animal can. Point at an object across a room and a dog will look where you're pointing. That sounds like nothing. It isn't. Wolves raised by humans from birth mostly fail this. Even chimpanzees, our closest relatives, are bad at it, but puppies get it almost instantly, sometimes before they've had any training. Researchers like Hare have spent years on this, and the conclusion keeps holding up. Dogs are wired to read human gestures. They treat us as something worth paying close attention to, not background scenery. A separate, important kind of creature. But it goes deeper than pointing. In 2015, a team led by Takefumi Kikusui at Azabu University in Japan published a study in the journal Science that quietly changed how we understand the dog-human bond. When a human mother and her baby stare into each other's eyes, both their brains release oxytocin, the bonding hormone. The baby's oxytocin rises, so it stares more. So the mother's oxytocin rises, so she stares more. A loop. It's one of the deepest bonding mechanisms in human biology. The researchers found that dogs hijacked that exact loop. When dogs and their owners gazed at each other, oxytocin rose in both of them. The owners saw their levels spike by around 300%. When they gave dogs a dose of oxytocin, the female dogs gazed at their owners 150% longer, which pushed the owner's oxytocin even higher. Same chemical machinery a mother uses with her newborn, running between you and your dog. And here's the part that matters. They tried the same thing with wolves. The loop didn't happen. Wolves raised by people don't do this. This isn't just animal near human. This is something dogs evolved specifically over thousands of years to do with us and only us. So, does a dog know it's a dog? Probably not in any way you'd recognize. Does it know you're not a dog? Almost certainly, yes. It treats you as a different, special species. What a dog seems to actually understand is not "I am a pet." It's something closer to "this is my human and my human is safety." It bonds to you the way a child bonds to a parent. It just has no idea there's paperwork. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because cats do the complete opposite. For a long time, the reputation was that cats don't care about us at all. That turned out to be wrong. In 2019, researchers at Oregon State University, led by Kristen Vitale, ran cats through a test originally designed for human babies. The cat and its owner sit in an unfamiliar room. The owner leaves for 2 minutes, then they come back. With babies, securely attached ones relax and explore once the parent returns. Anxious ones can't settle. The cats did the same thing. About 65% of them showed secure attachment. They used their owner as a base of safety in a scary new place. That number almost exactly matched the rate found in human infants. So no, your cat is not secretly indifferent. The majority of cats are genuinely bonded to their person. But here's the strange part. How a cat sees you may be totally different from how a dog does. John Bradshaw, a cat behavior expert at the University of Bristol, has argued for years, and he's careful to call it an interpretation, since cats are harder to study than dogs, that cats basically treat humans the way they treat other cats. Watch what your cat does. It rubs against your legs with its tail held high. It might groom you. It rests pressed against you. Those are the exact friendly greetings cats use with cats they like. A dog seems to know you're a different species and adjusts. A cat may have just filed you under cat, a big, clumsy, oddly useless cat that it has decided to keep around anyway. And there's one piece of evidence for this that's almost funny once you notice it: the meow. Adult cats in the wild barely meow at each other. They hiss, they yowl, they scent mark, but the classic meow is something kittens use to get their mother's attention and then mostly drop as adults. Except house cats never dropped it. Instead, every domestic cat develops its own set of meows aimed entirely at humans. As Bradshaw puts it, cats meow at us because we're too distracted to notice them otherwise. Your cat watching TV glazed you and going meow is using a sound it would almost never bother making to another cat. It built a small private language for you, one human, one animal. A signal that exists in the gap between two species that were never supposed to talk. So put it all together, and the answer to do animals know their pets is a clean no, but for a much more touching reason than you'd expect. Your dog doesn't know it's a pet. It knows it has a human, and that the human is its family, and that being near you is where the world feels safe. Your cat doesn't know it's a pet either. It seems to think it has adopted a strange, giant cat that it greets, grooms, and invented a special voice for. Neither of them understands ownership. Neither of them knows about vet bills or pet stores or the little tag on their collar with your phone number on it. That whole category pet is something we made up and wrote down. The animal never signed it. But that's the thing. The label is ours. The bond is theirs. And the bond is real. The oxytocin in your dog's brain is real. The secure attachment in your cat is real. They didn't agree to be pets. They did something quieter and stranger. They looked at one specific human out of every creature on Earth and decided that one was safe. That one was family. That one was worth keeping. So tonight, when the animal in your house comes over and settles down next to you, remember, it has no idea it's a pet. It never did. It just knows you're its person. And honestly, that's the better deal. If you want more videos like this, subscribe.